Hello, my dear ones. As I am wrapping up my cards from the video I did previously, I wanted to share with you this inspiration I got this morning. Are we agents of pacification or agents of disruption? Like tarot cards, I feel that they reveal the mysteries and the words principles, but we are like the tarot cards. I love this card. And now we are like the tarot cards. We also have different words and different laws and values that we carry in our essence, and I feel they disrupt what exists. So we know I'm trying to find some of the cards. We have some cards like the Eight of Swords. I don't know if I will get it, but oh, I love the Lovers. So we can think the Lovers, is it a pacification card or is it a disruptive card? The Six of Cups. You can see these tarot cards from all these angles. I love the Judgment. Is it a pacification card or disruptive card? The Seven of Wands is a disruptive card. Very, very obvious. But for others, they are not that obvious. But the Eight of Swords that I'm not finding, if I think about it, it shows us how we sometimes stay in some illusions. We feel that we are weak. We are overwhelmed and we cannot step outside, even if the path is open. It is possible. And other cards like the Seven of Wands or the Tower card, they are very disruptive. Even if it's the Hermit card, I feel it's as well disruptive because he's questioning, he's looking at a new direction from within. So if we do not know who we are and what we come from on earth, I believe we will be swayed away by many currents. They will disrupt our inner world and we will forget our own capacity to disrupt their world. So there is this kind of fight within about who influences the other more. But if we get out from that, we can maybe connect with those silenced voices within us that need to speak to disrupt the outer world. We need to connect to them. So in that case, the pacification and disruption, sometimes we say, okay, that's fine, we accept what is, but on the background there is screams going on. We are not accepting what is until these streams gather with others, and that's how we come to protest and so on. So today, what I'm inviting you to do is to connect to the streams that you have been pacifying and concealing within you. Because I believe it's very important in our times to regain confidence in what we believe it is right. Etoni just recently shared a video about and her opinion about the artificial intelligence, and I can attest, some of my decks have been taken by other industries, and they are printing them without my agreement. My texts, my words, and so there is this aspect of ethics. What do we believe it is right to do or what is not right to do? So I'm still I write a lot, and I have divisions of attention. Sometimes I use the correctors to kind of complete me where I feel missing, with this misspelling and so on. But at the same time, what is my limit? Where do I stop? What does it feel authentic for me to share? What is no more authentic that I should let go of? We need courage to embody and express what we really think. But at the same time, I feel we need to be open as well to discussion, because if what we think is not coming from our essence, soul, it can be from fragmented parts of us. And if we open the discussion within and without, we maybe can heal those fragments so that we see the world from a whole perspective and not from a fragmented perspective. So again, that aspect of echo, who is echoing within us, what is echoing and who is echoing. I feel like we are in a dark chamber, and there are many voices echoing, but the repetition in echo is very important. And you see it now, the same text. And I feel social media, and that's part also of artificial intelligence, where things are being repeated, but who decides about that? Some images, for example, in some countries I'm traveling in, I didn't hear this kind of and racist, and I have a different name, so I can attest that I'm going through racial and ethnic and all you can think, repression or stereotyping and so on. And at the same time, I understand their fear from all that is different and from the huge waves of immigration. So, but there is not a space for deep discussion about it. There are just opinions. So discussion is important. Repetition can act for us or against us. What is being repeated endlessly through social media, through the TV and so on. How can we bring our voice to echo something different? To shed the light on what is not seen. Back to the video by Itoni, talking about artificial intelligence. Why aren't we talking about the data centers, about how they are employing people in a very vulnerable spaces and very dangerous spaces? The conditions, where is the human resource, where are the laws protecting the employees, and from the other side, where are the laws that protect the land, the agricultural land that are being taken to construct these data centers? Why aren't we talking about these aspects? You see, so our echo in this aspect becomes important. So yeah, bringing this, and I'll probably publish an article about it today on my Substack, so please check the link below. What I want as well is to put the light into what I'm supposed to talk to you about or not. Sometimes as healers, some people say, why don't you send energy to the Middle East, or why don't you do this, or why don't you? And I feel that back to those inner streams that guide us from within, as a star being, as a healer, as a therapist, or as a writer. We have to remove that idea of monoculture that we find in farms. They plant the same vegetable, the same fruit, this is not natural. This is, historically speaking, it is not natural to plant the same thing again and again and again. This is so not natural, but we see it. We see it there, we see it in schools, in universities, but we are different. And everyone has a role, like the plants, like the forest. The forests do not plant the same thing. Even if you find the same trees, you find other species. I got the chance to see beautiful oak trees, forest of oak trees, forest of pine, and so on, but you will find other species there. So how can we live all together despite the difference, knowing that every one of us is playing a role? And if we connect more and more to the essence of who we are, we will play a symphony. So the idea of all being the same is so absurd for me. So we need to kind of put a space around us at the moment to listen to what we are echoing, and then echo with people, because silence. My priestesses know that I talk a lot about silence, the importance of space, the importance of reflecting the duality within us, and accept to be different, accept to not be in the stream, accept to be pacifier sometimes and to be disruptor. But deep within, I really believe, if you are listening to this, that we are deeply disruptors of what is, whether by our energy, even we are aware of it or not. Sometimes I see people acting with me in a certain way, and before I used to question myself, what's going on, what did I do, But with time, I understood I'm a disruptor. I disrupt with my way of being, with my name, with my face, with my way of standing, with my way of not speaking or of speaking. I am by nature a disruptor. And accepting that brought me so much peace, because I know now that I trigger sometimes people. I trigger them to be sometimes jealous or to act in a certain way. And for us as well, some people will trigger us, because there is this aspect of mirroring. We mirror each other's. So if we accept that, we learn how to be okay with the ambiguity, with sometimes not knowing. Back to my card here. We don't know everything, but deep down, we know something. That is the art of listening. The art of listening to each other's, the art of listening to what's happening in the world. But first is really listening to our deep streams. What is going on under the surface? What are the things that are triggering us deeply from a human perspective? What are the things that make us angry? What are the things that make us fearful? What are the things that make us joyful? How can we step in our own way, if that's what you have to do, to reclaim that which you want, what you dream about, not for you, but for all of us? How can you protect what brings you joy? And can we, ethically speaking, question our ways of living? I say that while watching my cards using trees, using colors, using distribution companies. I know all of that. I'm living with that ambiguity. And I question myself, is it the time to change that? Or should I change other things that are more priority at the moment? I feel this is just a symptom of our functioning, of our society. It's as well a tool, that ambiguity of our human life. And so deep within, what is right? And something has awakened, when I stayed with that thought this morning, and thinking about the gift economy. I've been listening to these amazing elders about the maternal gift economy and how we are given by nature. And I really believe it. The mothers between us, if you are a mother, if you have been a mother, if you are an aunt, if you are an uncle, we have that gift of giving without asking for something from the other side. I'm doing this video and I'm not waiting for you to do anything. Maybe just like the video if you want. But we are deeply giving. And hearing these ladies speaking about it clearly and voicing it had an echo with my own inner ego that I love giving. I just love giving, and people say, okay, well, you give too much, or you are too generous, or you are this, or you are that. But this is the nature of who we are. And there's this book, Homo Donus, I think its name. It's like we are giving species. We are a giving species. We just forgot to give generously, and we started putting numbers and quantifying what we are giving. And that's really ridiculous, because how can you quantify with numbers what you are giving? If you quantify what the earth is giving you, are you paying the earth? Are you paying the sky for the water? Are you paying the sun with quantity? The ancient ones were paying with reverence, with love, with chants, that was a form of reciprocity, if we want. So all this questioning about, what are we disrupting and how disruption comes from within and how it can touch the outer world. I hope I triggered something in there, a thought for this week. And don't hesitate to read the article below. I'm wishing you a great day. Much love.